The MiG-31, renowned for its remarkable speed and altitude capabilities, is pivotal in intercepting enemy aircraft and cruise missiles, making its losses a haunting concern for the Russian military. Still, against the stark backdrop of the Russia-Ukraine conflict, an ironic contrast emerges. While the Ukrainian Armed Forces boast an unimpressive record of 0 MiG-31 fighters downed, the Russian Air Force has indeed lost at least 6 of these machines. None of them were due to enemy fire. A string of MiG-31 crashes in Russia have captivated experts and enthusiasts. Characterized by engine fires and catastrophic outcomes, these incidents raise troubling questions about the cause, speculations ranging from sabotage, technical failure, and human error, all the way to blunt incompetence. One particular video showcasing a MiG-31 ablaze and filmed by its wingman has resurfaced online, reigniting discussions about the uncertain effectiveness of these supposedly fearsome aircraft. An intriguing contrast emerges in the ongoing conflict between Ukraine and Russia. The Ukrainian Armed Forces have yet to claim a single Russian MiG-31 fighter in their tally of victories. In stark contrast, the Russian Air Force, over a span of 16 months, suffered the loss of at least half a dozen of these aircraft. The chronicle of these losses begins in late February 2022, when the first MiG-31 met its untimely fate. In a peculiar twist of fate, the aircraft departed from the runway on its own, suffering considerable damage in the process. This incident unfolded in the Novgorod region of Russia, serving as a grim harbinger of events to come. In April, the Leningrad region bore witness to another fighter jet's tragic descent. As the year progressed, so did the unsettling pattern of MiG-31 losses. In the midst of autumn, a somber echo reverberated in the temporarily occupied Crimea as a similar incident occurred, marking the third in this disconcerting series. There lingered the possibility that the ill-fated aircraft might have been a variant of the MiG-31K, equipped to launch hypersonic or aeroballistic missiles. Then, the Russian skies over Primorsky Krai saw the fourth MiG-31 meet its end in December 2022. The following year would not be much better. In late April 2023, in the vast and remote expanse of northwestern Russia, an incident unfolded that would add to a growing list of aviation mishaps. In a desolate region situated on the fringes of Russia's Murmansk territory, which shared its border with NATO's most recent member, Finland, a Russian MiG-31 fighter jet met its unfortunate fate. Reports emanating from state media outlet TASS brought this dramatic event to light. According to statements from Russia's defense ministry, the ill-fated aircraft had been engaged in a routine training mission before it succumbed to disaster. Auspiciously, the response of the search and rescue team was a swift one, and both pilots managed to eject themselves from the stricken aircraft. Their timely rescue by a waiting helicopter ensured their lives and well-being remained secure. As the smoke cleared, the cause of this catastrophic event remained shrouded in mystery. TASS, referencing law enforcement sources, tentatively attributed the crash to a fire in one of the jet's engines. Thankfully, initial reports held no mention of civilian casualties. The gripping spectacle of this high-speed combat aircraft, bearing the designation MiG-31, or as NATO has dubbed it, the Foxhound, was captured in videos shared across social media. In those harrowing moments, the aircraft streaked across the sky before ultimately succumbing to its fate, nosediving earthward. However, the MiG-31 crash of that late April day would not be an isolated incident. It was a forecast of many more to come. In early June, the world was privy to the haunting video of yet another MiG-31 crash, this time in the Murmansk Oblast, providing a chilling glimpse into the misfortune of a Russian MiG-31, as witnessed by another Russian aircraft, quite possibly a fellow MiG-31, operating as its wingman. The ill-fated MiG-31, carrying a severely damaged engine and engulfed in a raging inferno, becomes the focal point of the video. Notably, the aircraft's landing gear remains deployed, an unusual sight given the relatively high altitude at which the drama unfolds. Speculation arises about this Foxhound, which may just have taken flight. Approximately 38 seconds into this heart-wrenching chronicle, the crew aboard the beleaguered aircraft makes the gut-wrenching decision to abandon their flaming bird. The grim conclusion of the video bears witness to the plummeting descent of the doomed aircraft and its tragic collision with the unforgiving mountainside. However, hope prevails, as the video provides a glimpse of the parachutes of the ejected crew descending. Military analysts and enthusiasts concurred that the April and June incidents were distinct and unrelated. The earlier crash culminated with the aircraft's watery landing in Lake Yamandra, a far cry from the mountainous terrain depicted in the recent video. Halfway through 2023, no less than 4 Russian MiG-31s had met their untimely end in the skies, raising a troubling question of whether it was the 5th such occurrence or a reiteration of the December 2, 2022 crash. Admittedly, military analysts have had trouble keeping up with all the different incidents in the past months, so the exact numbers are still a blur. Still, it became painfully evident that too many losses had befallen the Russian Air Force, and not at the hand of the enemy. While there may be prospects of restoration for some of these aircraft, the path to recovery is fraught with challenges and time-consuming, resource-intensive efforts. Likewise, another disconcerting pattern emerges. Some experts believe there might be a systemic issue plaguing Russian MiG-31s, one that involves the leakage of flammable liquids such as oil and kerosene from their engines. This theory gains credence, given that the latest crash marks the second Foxhound lost in flight due to a catastrophic fire in the rear of the aircraft. Moreover, the MiG-31K, a variant with the capability to launch hypersonic missiles, reportedly faced setbacks in Belarus, although these claims remain unverified. Early in June 2023, yet another Russian fighter jet met a violent fate amidst the azure expanse of the Pacific Ocean, during what should have been a routine training mission. The veil of uncertainty descended, shrouding the immediate destiny of the aircraft's 2 valiant crew members. According to the Russian military, the MiG-31, devoid of any menacing weaponry, plunged into the turbulent waters of Avansha Bay, situated along the southeastern shores of the Kamchatka Peninsula. In the aftermath of this calamity, rescue teams were swiftly dispatched, their solemn mission to search for any trace of the 2 souls who had faced the perils of the skies. As the dust settled and the waves ebbed, a cloak of silence draped the incident. The military offered no immediate elucidation, withholding the details that could illuminate the cause of this heart-rending crash. The enigma remained intact, casting a shadow over the tragic event. It was a grim reminder of the vulnerability that aviation entails when, earlier in April, another MiG-31 succumbed to the harsh Arctic landscape of the Murmansk region. In that instance, however, a glimmer of hope emerged as the crew members executed a successful bailout, escaping the jaws of calamity. These catastrophic episodes paint a disconcerting picture, and some have ventured to attribute the string of crashes to the intensified flight operations engendered by the ongoing conflict in Ukraine and the escalating tensions with the Western world. In this crucible of geopolitical strife, the Russian Air Force finds itself pushed to the limit, grappling with the somber consequences of its steadfast commitment to maintaining aerial supremacy. The history of the MiG-31 is rich with intrigue and significance. Its maiden flight occurred in 1975, marking the successor to the legendary Soviet-era MiG-25. This extraordinary fighter jet possesses the remarkable capability to reach astonishing speeds, soaring at Mach 3 while ascending to dizzying altitudes, establishing itself as a valuable asset in the world of aviation. The MiG-31, a twin-engine, 2-seat supersonic fighter, has faithfully protected Russian skies since the 1980s. Its primary mission, intercepting enemy aircraft and cruise missiles at substantial ranges, has solidified its status as an essential component of both the Soviet and Russian air forces. Against the backdrop of these haunting incidents, it's imperative to recognize the specialized role of the MiG-31. Tasked with critical interception missions, these aircraft occupy a pivotal position within Russia's aerial arsenal, making their loss all the more poignant and alarming, a source of concern not only for the military, but also for aviation enthusiasts worldwide. The specter of uncertainty looms large as investigators grapple with the enigmatic circumstances surrounding these heart-wrenching events in the skies above Russia.